The greatest financial meltdown since the Great Depression. As a real estate professional, whether you're an agent, broker, or team, what's your survival plan? It's bad. We all know that. But how bad is it, really? Well, let's do a quick review. Now, all economics must begin with supply and demand. So number one, let's talk supply. First, we start with all the houses that are normally being sold. Then we have to add the standard amount of foreclosure houses being sold. These are both normal, but then we have to add even more foreclosures, which are happening in record numbers, not only from mortgage defaults, but for tax defaults as well. Then we have to add again all the REOs from not only foreclosures, but also those properties that come from both deed in lieu and cash for keys arrangements. And to top that off, we are told now that 1 out of every 10 mortgage holders are currently falling behind on their mortgages. And so we have these people adding their houses to the supply of properties now being sold on the market. Needless to say, we have an enormous supply of houses for sale on the market. And unfortunately, these numbers are getting worse, not better. Now, a high supply isn't so bad if you have a high demand, or even a moderate demand as we have had recently. However, number two, let's talk demand. Over the last year, we've had moderate demand. Not great, but not too bad. What made things rough was the high supply of properties on the market that we just discussed. However, lately, even our moderate demand was being artificially stimulated by the government rebate programs, which are now unavailable, with virtually no chance of them being resurrected. Now, what's perplexing is, even with the lowest mortgage rates available in decades, demand is still low. And what's even more disturbing is the recent news. Buyers have dropped by 27%. This is a record drop. It's never happened before. A drop in demand that big, at least since they started keeping records in the 1960s. So now demand is at all-time lows. Let's see here. We have record high supply of houses on the market, and we have record low demand of house buyers. This is the worst of all possible situations, and both of these numbers are getting even worse. If it was bad before, you haven't seen anything yet. And we haven't even discussed or factored in the credit crisis, which is preventing even those who want to buy from getting adequate financing, the consumer confidence numbers, which are at all-time lows, the house pricing indexes, which have people losing 30 to 70% of the values of their homes, totaling trillions of dollars of lost value across America. And you'd think, with the best housing prices in decades, that the demand would be going up, not down to record lows. And of course, the high unemployment situation. This number is currently at or around 10% unemployment, with another 7% past unemployment no longer even qualifying to receive unemployment, which totals 17% actual unemployment, with over 1 million people losing their jobs so far. And then we also have the high underemployment situation. Shorter hours and reduced pay are making it even more difficult for those who are still somewhat employed to pay their mortgage bills, bringing us right back to the recent report about the 1 in 10 mortgage holders are falling behind. Basically, we have the downward spiral. This is happening right now. And this situation is where each new problem creates a domino effect, and each news item being broadcast precipitates a self-fulfilling prophecy of the next piece of bad news. An example of this is where, say, housing prices are dropping, so buyers say, "Why should I buy?" when prices are dropping, which creates even less buyers, therefore less demand and even lower prices. Hence, a downward spiral and more trouble for everyone involved. So now economic experts are warning that this crisis will continue for years. So what's your survival plan? How are you going to stay afloat as an agent, a team, or brokerage? How will you get your family through? Many brokers and agents are just ignoring this crisis, hoping it's just a bad dream. Or hoping the government will produce a miracle, when even Obama has gone on the record saying, the housing crisis will not be solved by government alone. Want to know what they'll be calling those people soon? Bankrupt, dependent, helpless, homeless, victims. There is a bright side, and there is a solution. A solution that you can do to help you get through this crisis in relative comfort and economic safety. And it's not denial. It's not faith in the leaders that caused this disaster. It's not abandoning your dreams of a richer life. It's not cutting your prices to the bone and firing your friends. And it's sure not learning to survive on table scraps. So what is this solution that you can do to help you get through this crisis in comfort? Can you guess? The solution is fairly obvious and quite simple, really. Have you guessed it? The solution is to do what other majorly successful brokers and agents are ethically doing right now to make great money. That's pretty straightforward. Find out what other successful people are doing and do the same thing. So let's discuss this a little further. Even in the depths of the Great Depression, 75% of all Americans still had jobs, and income, and money to spend. This time around they will too, and they'll give you some of it if you know how to ask for it, and if you know how to serve these clients in the way they want and need to be served right now. So in this real estate market, what do they want? What do they need? What are they willing to pay for right now? And most importantly, who has cracked this code and is actually making money doing it right now? These were the questions that Mark Harris has been asking over the last 6 months. Mark wanted those answers for you, his over 498,000 members in the Broker Agent Council, so you can ethically make money in a tried and true way by giving your clients what they want and need, and by giving them what they're willing to pay for right now. Want to see what Mark found? Want to see how you can do it too? Want to see all that for free? Okay, Mark will show you all the pieces of the puzzle. All you have to do is tell him where you want him to email the instructions for the live teleconference. So to get free access, just fill in your name and email address, click on Submit, and we look forward to seeing you there.